Headlines for native ads like Taboola and Outbrain are crucial for the success of a campaign. But there are some hidden tricks and some false tricks which we will take care about in this video. So my goal for you here in this video is that you will get an idea how to create really winning and high converting headlines for native advertising traffic sources like Taboola and Outbrain. Hi everyone, my name is Marcel Sattler. I'm the founder of PurpleBlack, a native advertising only agency. What we're doing on a daily basis is we run profitable performance marketing campaigns on native advertising traffic sources like Taboola, Outbrain, Yahoo Gemini, and many more. And in this video today, I will share with you my experience with headlines for native advertising traffic sources like Taboola, Outbrain, MJID, but also many more. And these things I will get you today are on the one hand side some winning strategies from direct marketing campaigns which are working for many decades already, but we'll combine them also with new tools like, for example, ChatGPT, because you can also use these kind of tools nowadays for your creative process. But before we dig into this topic, I will explain you why headlines are such an important topic for native advertising campaigns. So when we are talking about ads on native advertising traffic sources, we are talking about a combination of a picture and a headline. So this in combination, the picture and the headline, this is the ad. And today we will just focus about the headline and not about the picture. But if you're creating an ad in general for native advertising traffic sources, we are always talking in general about the composition, often picture and often headline. That's super important to understand. The headline is therefore very important because there is no real targeting. So that means when you have a specific audience in mind, you have to target this audience exactly with the headline. You also have to make a lot of curiosity. You also have to make the headline to make it not clickbaity, but you have to invite people to click on it without being clickbaity, because the danger if you're too clickbaity is that many people will click but nobody will buy or will sign up for a lead form. So therefore, on the one hand side, you have to be a bit clickbaity, but on the other hand side, you have to take care that you're not too clickbaity, not to go too much in the arbitrage area, still stay in the converting area. And by the way, because I mentioned now arbitrage, just FYI, this video about the headlines, we're focusing on performance marketing campaigns like normal brand campaigns, D2C brands like normal brands, like affiliate marketing and this kind of stuff, and not about arbitrage. Because in arbitrage, you usually want to be clickbaity. You usually want that people clicking on the ad. And in this case, we also want that people clicking on the headline, on the ad in general, but we need the right people who are most likely converting into a buying client. So 50% of success of an ad is the headline, because as mentioned already, an ad is always picture plus headline. And when you make a good headline, you already have 50% in your pocket of the success or for the success of your campaign, or at least of the ad. So let's dig into it. First of all, it's important to understand that there are some to-dos, so things that you definitely should have in mind. And some do's are definitely things like, let me just make it a bit more visible for you guys. So the do's are definitely short. So try to keep it very short. You don't have a lot of space here on native advertising in general, because you always have to keep in mind that when we talk about native ads, people are reading a page and they're here on the bottom of the page, and here is, which is Taboola called the moment of next. Like somebody is reading an article and now he or she wants to continue reading. So therefore, we're here talking about the moment of next. However, you have this issue here now that you just have a small visibility, because you usually have some normal content from the page itself, but also some Taboola or Outbrain ads. And here you just have a bit of space. So you see, you don't have a lot of space, unfortunately. So that means you have to make it short. You have to keep it very simple, very short, very on point. That means you don't have space for 2 sentences. You don't have space to explain a whole topic here. You have to be crispy. And to be crispy, I recommend you not to be longer, and to be short, I recommend you to stay at the max of 60 words. So this is my personal recommendation here. Maximum of 60 words. This ensures that you will be visible. If you have 40 words, perfect, or 40 signs, not words, sorry. 40 signs, that's perfect, but definitely not more. Another important thing is, as mentioned already in the beginning of this video, that you don't have interest-based targeting, like you have it, for example, on Google when you do some display ads, or also on Facebook, on Meta, like with Instagram ads or with Facebook ads. However, it's important to target the audience, because imagine you have a very broad audience, which is extremely good for native ads. However, for all people of all the reader around the world, this is just, or this might be just, a small area. So the cycle of people, of the audience, is way bigger. So therefore, you have to ensure that you target exactly this audience. And by the way, that's the reason why you usually have something like this. Do you have back pain? Keep attention. This XYZ might help you. Do you have issues or knee issues? Doctor, resolve this mystics, or something like this, you know? You always, or you usually have the issue or the audience, like woman, keep attention, or baby owners, like baby boomers, keep attention, something like this. So you always have an issue, or for example, you're speaking directly to the audience. So it's very important to mention the audience. And the better you mention the audience, and by the way, keep in mind, keep it short and simple. Don't overdo things here. It's very important to keep it very, very short, very crispy. Like, hey, fathers of, I don't know, or dog owners, keep attention. This is important for you. This is why you should read it. So you definitely should mention the audience and keep it short. Next thing is play with curiosity. So like myth resolved or something like this, you know. You have to make people to want to click this ad. You have to keep in mind that people can click everywhere. They see a lot of different topics which they might be interested in. So you have to ensure that if someone is seeing your headline, if someone is reading your headline, that the right person will be affected, that the right person will think, hey, this is something relevant for me. And this you want to ensure with the headline. So therefore, you can play with curiosity or something like this. You know, it doesn't have to be curiosity itself. It also can be something like studies show or problem solved, audience XYZ, biggest issue, and some other things. Or the free tips to get rid of your back pain at all. Something like this, you know, something which is important or which might be clickable for a user, but don't be too clickbaity. But you can definitely play with curiosity. So these are the 3 most important things which you should have in a headline. Additionally, this is just my personal recommendation, which is working always great, but you cannot do it always, unfortunately. But however, it's always great if you're able to mention numbers. 7 of 10 people are recommending this product. 8 of 10 people, or studies shown, every 6th German is affected by XYZ. Something like this. So numbers are definitely very good for a conversion rate. So this is just to name a few of them. Let's go very quick to the don'ts, which you should avoid. And there are a lot of things which you definitely should avoid. Let's start with some promises. You have to avoid some promises like this product will help you to lose 5 pounds in 8 days. This is, you know, this is not a question or something like this. This is a very strong headline, but unfortunately it's not working because you're promising people stuff which is not working like this or which might not work like this, you know? So it's not allowed to use some very specific answers like you will lose 8 pounds in 5 days. You have to use something like a question, like do you really lose 8 pounds in 5 days with this genius product? Or is it worth it to buy XYZ? So you have to put it in a, for example, in a question, or at least not to, or at least build in something like this might be helping you, or a softener. But try, or you definitely should avoid some very hard answers or some very hard headlines like this will help you to get rid of ABC. This is not working, and the policy team will not allow these headlines. Next thing is avoid complicated things. Like complicated texts, very, very complicated sentences. People don't read it. Try to keep very short words inside. Don't overcook it here. So try really to make very simple, easy to read bites for people, like on the salami technique, You don't give people the whole salami, you are cutting or you're slicing it into small pieces, and it's easier to eat for them. So therefore, also here, try to use very short words. If you have something like a very long word and it's grammatically not completely incorrect, you can use something like a hyphen, or to make it a little bit more chunkier, a little bit more eatable for people. And last but not least, in general, you should be aligned with the policy, of course. So you have to have the policy in mind and follow, of course, the policy. But I think with these two things, we have the majority of don'ts. Of course, there are more, no question about it, no doubts about it. But these are the most important things which I can recommend you now here in this video very quickly. When we're talking about headlines, one thing is super important, and it's unfortunately not working when I look into a lot of accounts which we are consulting. So important is that the headline and the landing page is aligned. Let's make it here, LP, sorry. So what I mean by that is the title of the headline have to be aligned with the title of the landing page. It's not working when you say, this genius pills helped me to lose 5 pounds, and on the landing page you don't show pills, but you show something like an online course, This is not aligned with then the title of the headline, or the headline itself, is not aligned with the editorial. And you definitely should avoid this. So it always have to be aligned, the headline have to be aligned with the headline on the editorial, and of course with the copy on the editorial, and in general, the context of the editorial. So if you want to create now some headlines for your native advertising campaigns, I recommend you to start with 3 headlines. And if you're wondering, I'm not a very creative person, what can I use? You can also use, of course, something like ChatGPT or AI in general. You can use Jasper, ChatGPT, whatever you want. Important here is just a few things to mention. If you're using a tool like Jasper or ChatGPT, it's always just the start of the inspiration. So you can ask, for example, ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, give me 10 headlines for the product ABC for Taboola and make sure that it's maximum 50 signs. So something like this. And ChatGPT will give you like 10 different headlines. You can see them, you can read them, and sometimes they're really good. But however, you're usually not, or they're not such good yet that you can use them one by one. So it's just an inspiration. You can combine them, for example, and create your own headlines with this. But usually it's not a good idea to just copy it and paste it one by one. So use those kind of tools, use AI tools as inspiration, but you have to need this understanding of how is marketing working in general, how direct marketing is working in general, or how headlines are working in general. And you can also watch videos on YouTube about this, because these strategies are the same for the last decades. And the biggest thing is, if you can combine like the knowledge of direct marketing plus AI, and if you're a person which has a bit of experience in marketing, in a marketing field, if you have a good feeling, if you have a good gut feeling to know and to understand what's working, what people really want, then you definitely have a huge money-making machine. So these are my hands to for creating genius, high-converting headlines for native ads. Let me know if you want to have a second part where we also show the insights of how to create high-converting images, because in this video we just mentioned headlines, and headlines are just 50% of the ad. So if you want to learn more about how to create genius and good converting ads for Taboola and Outbrain, write it in the comments below, and who knows, maybe we'll create a video about that. I hope you liked that video. If so, I would extremely appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, and of course when you subscribe to my channel to receive updates when I upload a new video about native ads here on YouTube. Have a good one. See you next time.